Have you ever seen this situation? Two men step into a woman's life. The first one is eager. He rushes to prove his love with gifts, constant compliments, endless texts. He bends over backward to please her in every situation. At first, she enjoys the attention, but soon he becomes invisible, too predictable, too safe, too easily replaced. The second man? He's different. He doesn't flatter. He doesn't beg for affection. He shows up calm, steady, confident. When disrespected, he withdraws in silence. And when he speaks, his words are short, sharp, unforgettable. He doesn't chase love, he commands respect. Now ask yourself, which man will she remember? Here's the brutal truth. Love without respect fades. But respect, even without love, can leave an obsession that lingers. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is safer to be feared than loved." Most men reject this instantly. No, love is what matters. But look closer. He wasn't talking about cruelty or violence. He was speaking about the power of boundaries and the fear of loss. Epictetus taught the same lesson. You cannot control what others think of you. You can only control yourself. And when you combine Machiavelli's sharp edge with the discipline of Stoicism, you uncover a timeless truth. The man who masters himself masters the room. In this video, I'll share with you 8 psychological principles rooted in Machiavelli, yet illuminated by Stoic wisdom, that will not only change how women see you, but how the entire world responds to you. These are not pick-up tricks. They're structures of influence and presence designed to make you unforgettable. Join me on this journey where we connect the wisdom of the past with the reality of the present. And if you want to go deeper into the art of self-mastery and the power of Stoicism, hit subscribe to The Stoic Habit. I'm Jason. Let's dive right in. Part 1. Fear or love? Machiavelli once said, "It is safer to be feared than loved." At first, the words sound harsh, like something only a tyrant would believe. But look deeper, and you'll see he wasn't talking about cruelty. He was talking about something far more subtle, the fear of loss. In relationships, when a woman knows you'll always be there, always forgiving, always tolerating disrespect, what happens? That love turns into background noise, safe, predictable, but boring. Love without the fear of loss is like a song played on repeat, soothing at first, but eventually it fades into silence. Think about Steve Jobs. He was both loved and feared. His colleagues admired him for his brilliance, but they also respected the intensity of his standards. Many hated the pressure, but none ever dared to dismiss him. That balance, love and fear together, made him unforgettable. And the same is true in relationships. Most men believe, if I give more, she'll love me more. But reality shows the opposite. The more you give without boundaries, the less value it holds. Epictetus warned us, if you want to improve, be willing to be thought foolish and stupid. What does that mean? It means you don't live for approval, you live by your standards. Fear here doesn't mean intimidation. It doesn't mean raising your voice or playing games. True fear comes when a woman realizes you won't stay if your values are broken. When she understands you don't beg, you don't plead, you don't explain, you simply walk away. And in that silence, she feels it. The absence, the weight of losing a man she cannot control. That's not cruelty, that's presence, that's power. The lesson is simple, but few men dare to follow it. Never beg for love. Set your boundaries, and if they're crossed, step back. Let your silence speak louder than any argument, because in the end, it's not the man who chases love who becomes unforgettable. It's the man who teaches, without a single word, that respect must always come first. And once you master this balanced love, mixed with the quiet fear of loss, you will never be ordinary in her mind again. Part 2. Master the image. Machiavelli once wrote, "It is not necessary to be good, it is necessary to appear good." At first, this sounds deceptive, as if he's telling us to wear a mask. But he wasn't talking about lies. He was pointing to a timeless truth. People don't respond to reality, they respond to perception. Think about it. You may be loyal, intelligent, honest, but if you walk into a room with your shoulders hunched, your voice shaky, your eyes restless, no one will feel your worth. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If your thoughts are anxious, your presence will project weakness. If your thoughts are steady, your presence will project strength. Consider Barack Obama. Whatever your politics, notice his presence. He didn't rush, he didn't fidget. He paused, looked around, and spoke with calm authority. People leaned in not because of his resume, but because of the way he carried himself. This is the power of image, not vanity, not pretending, but shaping the way others experience you. Because attraction, whether in love or leadership, doesn't begin with facts. It begins with feeling. So, how do you master the image? When you feel nervous, stand tall anyway. When you feel angry, speak as if you control fire, not as if you're consumed by it. When you want to chase, pause. Do nothing. Let stillness be your strength. And most of all, don't reveal everything. Show enough for her to see who you are. But leave space for imagination, for curiosity, for mystery, because people don't chase what they fully understand. They chase what they can't quite grasp. This is why endless explanations, oversharing, and constant availability destroy attraction. The mystery dies, and with it, so does respect. So remember this. You don't need to be perfect. You need to appear unshakable. Because in a world ruled by perception, image isn't just important, it is the game itself. Part 3. The Lion and the Fox. Machiavelli taught that a ruler must be both a lion and a fox. The lion represents power, strength, and boundaries. The fox represents intelligence, patience, and subtlety. Alone, each is incomplete. Together, they form a force that cannot be broken. Think about relationships. Every woman will test you, not out of cruelty, but to see if you're real. She may grow cold, then warm, then cold again. She may shift her tone, withdraw affection, or challenge your words. And in those moments, most men collapse. They explain, they apologize, they chase. And just like that, they lose respect. The Stoics knew better. Seneca wrote, "True power is to master oneself." Self-mastery means knowing when to roar like a lion and when to watch silently like a fox. When emotions run high, be the fox. Don't react. Don't take the bait. Let the storm crash against your calm, because silence under pressure is stronger than 1,000 words. But when a line is crossed, when respect is broken, be the lion, not through shouting, not through anger, but through presence. A simple withdrawal of your attention. A stillness that says, "This is my boundary, I will not move." Warren Buffett is a living example of this balance. As the fox, he waits patiently, sometimes years, for the perfect investment. As the lion, when the moment comes, he moves with absolute conviction, investing billions without hesitation. Patience and strength combined, that is why he commands respect across the world. In relationships, it's no different. If you are only the lion, she will provoke you until you explode. If you are only the fox, she will admire your cleverness but doubt your backbone. But if you are both calm and calculating, yet firm and immovable, she cannot predict you. And unpredictability is magnetic. The lesson is clear. Don't be just strong. Don't be just clever. Be both. The lion protects your respect, the fox protects your mind, and together they make you unforgettable. Part 4. Divide her world. Machiavelli's oldest law of power was simple: divide and conquer. Most people think of armies and empires, but the same principle works quietly inside the human mind. You don't control someone by force. You don't argue endlessly or shout your way to influence. Real control begins when you plant a seed of doubt, small, subtle, but powerful enough to make her question what she once believed with certainty. Picture this. She tells you, "I hate jealous men." Most guys would nod in agreement, desperate to be liked. But the man who understands psychology doesn't rush to agree. He just smiles and says softly, "That's what you think." That one line creates a crack. Now her mind starts spinning. What did he mean? Do I really believe this? Why is that echoing in my head? The Stoics knew the power of gentle disruption. Socrates never forced people to accept his ideas. Instead, he asked questions calm, curious, but sharp enough to make others doubt their own certainty. And once the crack appeared, the mind could never go back to being the same. This is not about manipulation, it's about influence through presence. Because certainty feels safe, but it breeds complacency. Doubt creates curiosity, and curiosity keeps emotions open. Think of marketing genius Steve Jobs again. He didn't tell people they needed the iPhone. He simply held it up and said, "It changes everything." And suddenly, people began to question, have I been living without what I really need? The seed was planted, the rest unfolded on its own. In relationships, the same principle applies. Don't fight beliefs directly. Don't rush to validate. Tap them gently. Make her reflect. Make her wonder. And then say nothing more. Because silence is the water that nourishes the seed. She will argue with herself, not with you. And when her own mind begins to divide, you are already inside it, not as a tyrant, but as a mystery she cannot resolve. The lesson? Don't seek agreement. Seek curiosity. Plant questions, not answers. And watch as influence grows in the space between her thoughts. Part 5. Reward and Punish. Machiavelli once said, "Injuries must be inflicted all at once, but benefits should be given little by little." It sounds cold, but it's not about cruelty, it's about psychology. Human beings remember sharp pain delivered quickly, and they crave pleasure given slowly, in rare doses. That rhythm creates impact. Think about relationships. When she disrespects you, the weak man argues, explains, begs for her to understand. But the man of principle doesn't waste words. He withdraws. He becomes silent. His absence stings more than any outburst ever could. And when she respects you, when she shows loyalty, warmth, care, you don't flood her with praise. You don't shower her with endless validation. You give sparingly, like rare coins of gold. A small smile, a short compliment, a subtle touch, enough to be felt, never enough to be taken for granted. This is the same strategy casinos use to keep players hooked. They don't hand out big jackpots constantly. They deliver unpredictable small wins, just enough to keep people chasing the next reward. Consistency bores. Rarity creates obsession. The Stoics understood this too. Seneca wrote, "Discipline shapes freedom. Without discipline, your rewards mean nothing. Without restraint, your punishment turns into noise. But with balance, you become unforgettable." Think of parenting. A wise parent doesn't scold a child endlessly. One firm consequence, delivered immediately, teaches more than hours of lecturing. But when the child improves, the parent doesn't overwhelm them with praise. A single nod of approval means more than 1,000 words. The same holds true in love. Punish once, swiftly, through silence and distance. Reward slowly, sparingly, so that every gesture matters. Because here's the truth. When everything is given freely, nothing holds weight. But when affection must be earned, when presence is not guaranteed, it becomes priceless. The lesson is clear. Don't punish with anger. Don't reward with desperation. Use absence as punishment. Use presence as reward. And when you master that balance, you are no longer just a man in her life. You become the system her emotions cannot escape. Part 6. Observe and one line. Most men look at a woman's beauty. Few ever study her behavior. But the man of presence, the Stoic man, observes silently. He doesn't rush to impress. He doesn't fawn for attention. He simply watches. He notices the shifts in tone, the changes in posture, the way her laughter sounds different when she's with someone she respects versus someone she controls. And then, at the right moment, not too soon, not too late, he speaks. One line, calm, precise, without emotion. You laugh, but it doesn't feel real. That's it. No judgment, no smile, no explanation. Just truth. And that truth cuts deeper than 100 compliments. Why? Because people can dismiss flattery, but they cannot dismiss being seen. Marcus Aurelius practiced this with himself. In his private meditations, he wrote blunt observations about human weakness, never sugar-coated, never exaggerated, just clarity. And clarity has weight. Think of Elon Musk in board meetings. He often sits quietly, letting others speak for hours, and then he asks one question, simple, sharp, that dismantles the entire argument. One line, but it changes everything. In relationships, the same principle applies. While other men flood her with empty praise, you stay silent, you watch, and when the right moment comes, you drop one observation she wasn't ready for. Her mask slips, her certainty cracks, and suddenly she's thinking about you long after you've left. Understand this. Obsession doesn't come from being admired. It comes from being exposed. From feeling that someone sees the part of you no one else ever noticed. The lesson is simple. Speak less, observe more, and when you finally speak, let your words carry the weight of silence behind them. Because a single line of truth will echo in her mind far longer than any promise of love. Part 7. Control through absence. If you are always available, always answering every message, always present at every call, then you become predictable. And what is predictable quickly becomes forgettable. But when you disappear calmly, without drama, without explanation, you create something the human mind cannot resist, a void. And the mind hates a void. It must fill it. When you step back in silence, she begins to replay your last words. She questions every glance, every pause, every detail she may have missed. Did I do something wrong? Why hasn't he reached out? Was he ever truly mine? That's the power of absence. It doesn't create pain, it creates tension, and tension pulls harder than any confession of love. The Stoics understood this well. Epictetus advised, "Learn to be content with being thought foolish." In other words, let people wonder, don't rush to explain yourself. Don't destroy the mystery by filling the silence. Look at Muhammad Ali. Before his biggest fights, he sometimes disappeared from the spotlight. No interviews, no words, just silence. And the world leaned forward. The anticipation grew. When he finally returned, his presence carried 10 times more weight. Absence only works when your presence had power. If you were forgettable while you were there, disappearing won't matter. But if you gave value, if your presence was strong, then stepping away magnifies your influence. And when you return, calm, unbothered, unmoved. She won't greet you with anger. She'll greet you with curiosity and fear, because she realizes now you can walk away at any time and never flinch. The lesson is clear. Don't fear absence. Don't chase approval. Step back when you are taken for granted. Let silence speak for you, because sometimes the loudest message is the one delivered without a single word. Part 8. Be her turning point. Most women won't remember every man they date. The dinners, the flowers, the late-night texts, they all blur together. But there is one man she will never forget. The man who shifted her story. The man who forced her to see herself differently. The man who became a turning point. This isn't about manipulation. It's about presence. About being so grounded in your values that your very existence challenges her. Maybe you're the first man who actually walked away when disrespected. The first man who didn't beg, didn't plead, didn't fold. Maybe you're the one who looked her in the eye and calmly named the truth she tried to hide. Not with cruelty, but with clarity. Freud once said, "People crave what marks them emotionally. And that's what makes turning points unforgettable. We don't remember comfort, we remember disruption. We remember the moment someone forced us to grow. Marcus Aurelius didn't try to charm the Roman Empire. He didn't chase popularity. He lived by principle. And because of that, his presence still echoes across centuries. He became a turning point for history itself. So in love, the same truth applies. Don't aim to be liked. Don't aim to be the sweetest memory. Aim to be the standard, the shift she never saw coming. Because when she looks back years later, she may forget your name. She may even forget your face. But she will never forget the version of herself that was born after you. The lesson? Don't compete to be another chapter in someone's story. Compete to be the chapter that rewrites the entire book. Because when you become her turning point, you no longer fight for space in her mind. You live there quietly, permanently, as the moment her world changed. Conclusion. We've explored 8 Machiavellian frameworks: fear and love, the power of image, silence, rewards, absence. But all of them point back to one Stoic truth. It's never about controlling others, it's about mastering yourself. Epictetus reminded us, no man is free who is not master of himself. If you can't control your words, your emotions, your craving for approval, you will always be controlled by others. Remember, you don't need to chase love. Build gravity. Become the man who can walk away and never needs to. Drop the word gravity in the comments if you're ready to commit, and subscribe to The Stoic Habit to continue this journey together.